What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome to our first ever Skylanders video. Yes, that's right, we are playing Skylanders. I never played this game before in the past when it first came out. I know a lot of other people did, and they got big compensations. For me, I just picked it up this time around on the relaunch. I actually streamed it for like 10 hours yesterday. I had a great time playing it. The game is a little clunky, hoping they address it in the future. For this video, I want to talk about rerolling and what characters you should be looking for when you're rerolling. A lot of these new games that are coming out, they do these rerolls the same way, where they give you 30 free rolls, and they kind of let you pick your starting character, hero, Skylander, whatever you want to call it. This is like my 50th game, so I call them many different things. I'll try to stick to Skylander or character for this video. So the question is, which one are you looking for when you're rerolling in Skylanders, when you're doing those 30 rolls? Now, I went over this list yesterday on Twitch. There is no tier list out yet because this game was totally redone. All the units were changed around. So no one has an exact tier list yet because all the servers were relaunched and rebuilt. But yesterday on Twitch, we went over the characters, Skylanders, and I think I narrowed it down to two, or the best two starting characters you should be looking for when re-rolling. Now, I'm not saying there's not other ones, and I'm not saying there's not better ones. I'm just saying that I think these are the best two when starting off in Skylanders as a free-to-play, non-compensated player. Now, I know a lot of you guys were playing this game in the past, so you got big compensations. But if you're like me and you're starting off with nothing, no free gems, you want to make sure you start off with the right units because this game is pretty tough and it looks pretty expensive as far as packs go. I will get into that in another video. But your starting Skylander is going to be really important, and you want to make sure you pick the right one because you're going to need him to get through this campaign. I played for 10 hours yesterday and I couldn't even finish the easy campaign. I did finish it now, but my point is you want to make sure you're picking one of these god tier Skylanders. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck really hard, really fast. And as a non-compensated free-to-play player, your starting Skylander is going to mean everything to you. So let's go over the two that I came up with, or the two that I think are the best starting Skylanders in this game. So let's pull up our Skylanders. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with this game. I didn't think I was going to because I'm not really a fan of the graphics. It looks kind of kiddish. The game's a little sluggish, but I'm having a lot of fun. Something about it makes me want to play it. So we're going to be adding another game to the list of games that I play already, which is fine. I love making content for you guys. I love covering all these games with you guys and sharing my opinions and getting your opinions. And of course, if you guys have some other starting characters that you think are really good to start with, please comment down below. Let us know. Share that information with us. We would love to hear it. So on the screen, you can see I have Spitfire here. I did pick Spitfire, and it's because of his kit and because what he brings to the table when starting a new game, especially a game like Skylanders. You're mostly looking for damage and a good leader skill, pretty much like every other gacha game. Now, I think Spitfire is more geared towards PvP, which also makes him a really good pick for a free-to-play player, because if you're not summoning a lot, the thing with Spitfire is he can carry you through the campaign, and then he can carry you in, mid to late game PvP content. And I'm not saying he can do it by himself, but he is a really good unit to have in your team because of his leader skill and because of what he brings to the table. So let's just pull up all the Skylanders here. If you click on the bottom where the Skylander button is, it'll pull up all of them. You can X out, and then you'll get a list of all of the Skylanders. This will show you which ones you have and which ones you're missing. So let's pull up Spitfire here. Now, I picked Spitfire because I really liked his kit, I really liked his leader skill, and I like the way he looks. So let's go over his leader passive. So we got increases your accuracy by 25%. Additionally, grants the explosion effect ×1 on all enemies for 2 turns when you're attacked with the damage that caused you to be defeated. Activates 1 time during battle. Then we got the leader effect, increases the accuracy of all allies by 15% in battle. And then we got explosion, inflicts 100% of the attack as damage by exploding a bit after. And what I've been noticing with Spitfire is when he puts that bomb up and it explodes, it knocks them down, and it's like a stun, and they lose a turn. And this is really good for boss floors on the campaign and just bosses in general, because if you can get them not to take a turn, it's probably going to save your life and make the difference in winning the battle or losing the battle. So now we got his passive. We'll call it his A4. So we got if an enemy possesses 3+ explosion effects at the beginning of the turn, grants the effect accuracy up 20% on yourself for 3 turns. And then we got accuracy down, increases the effect accuracy by 20%. Now let's get into the skills that really make Spitfire shine early game. So we got inflicts 76% of attack as damage on all enemies. And that's what makes him so good, is it's all enemies. Early game, you're looking for something that is doing AoE damage. Now, a lot of these Skylanders only have like 1 or 2 AoEs, which is different from what this game used to be. They used to have a ton of AoEs, but now they only have a few. I haven't found any characters that have full AoEs yet. Then we got, and grants the explosion countdown effect, grants a random weakening effect for 3 turns on the enemy with the explosion countdown effect activated. Then we got stimulate explosion. All explosion effects granted on the target will be activated instantly. All explosion effects will be removed. Then we got random weakening effect. A random weakening effect will be granted. So the thing to take away from there is he does explosions and he does damage on all enemies. So we got inflicts 57% of attack as damage to 1 enemy and inflicts 57% of attack and damage on 1 more, then 1 random enemies 4 times. Additionally grants the explosion effect for 3 turns with a 60% chance each whenever you attack accurately. Then we got explosion, inflicts 100% of attack as damage by exploding a bit after. So you want to stack attack on this man. And then we got his A1. But what you could take from this again is he's doing kind of another AoE here where he's hitting multiple enemies. So we got his A3 and A2 doing AoE attacks. So now we got his A1 here, inflicts 151% of attack as damage to 1 enemy and grants the beneficial effect immunity, effect and evasion down, 20% effect for 2 turns, each with a 75% chance each when you attack accurately, able to put the enemy in knockdown status. That knockdown status is like a stun. We got beneficial effect immunity. All beneficial effects can't be granted. So like a blocker, decreases attack evasion rate by 20%. And then we got knockdown, and that just explains what it is. All targets will be under the ability status, and all attacks will be boosted to be activated. Additionally, decreases the accuracy by 30% and evasion rate by 30%. It almost looks like a stun when it happens because like the enemy gets pushed down to the floor. Now, I don't know much about this game yet. I'm not claiming to know much about this game yet, but I have gotten good information from people that have played this game from the beginning and are playing it again now. I've talked to the community yesterday on Twitch. I streamed it for 10 hours. I talked to everybody on Discord. So I can give you the most accurate information in this video, which is pretty much the best or the best 2 starting heroes to start off with when re-rolling. So I'm not just like coming out here and just like making this stuff up. So Spitfire should definitely be on your list when you're re-rolling for your first Skylander. And the second one on this list is Stormblade. Honestly, I think Stormblade might be better. I don't want to say better, but maybe more useful like in your first couple weeks of playing than Spitfire. But I think overall in long term, I think you're better off having Spitfire because he's going to really do great work for you in PvP content. And I'm not saying Stormblade won't do great work for you in PvP content. I just think Spitfire might be a little bit better. And one thing you also want to take note of in this game is the element advantage, because that really matters, especially in like campaign. If you're stuck, it's probably because you're using the wrong elements. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to go over that too much in this video. I'll make another one going over element advantage and disadvantage. But if you're getting stuck, check out the elements and see if you can't do some changing around if that doesn't help you. And in some ways, I really do think Stormblade is going to be better for you early game because of this leader skill. And he's giving you increased attack by 25%. And we all know early game in these gacha games, more damage you do, the better. Same thing with like late game dungeon runs. More damage is always better because you pretty much just want to like push your way through the content with a ton of damage. So he really does have a great leader skill as far as that 25% attack in battles go. Honestly, if I could redo it, I probably would go with Stormblade over Spitfire. I'm not upset about my pick, but as a free-to-play non-compensated player, I think Stormblade might have carried me a little bit more through the early game, just in my personal opinion. And then we got additionally grants the accuracy up by 20%, effect on yourself for 3 turns if the enemy is in break or knockdown state after you attack, increase the attack of the team member by 15% in battle. Again, that attack boost is so great early game, and it's going to help you so much getting through the campaign that I really do think Stormblade is probably just a little bit better than Spitfire early on, and then Spitfire might get leveled up as you get going through the game. Then we got increases attack accuracy by 20%, which is fantastic. Again, like putting up all these debuffs, explosions, you're going to need accuracy just like any other gacha game. So we got follow the wind passive. When an ally starts charging, grants the critical rate up by 20%. Effect and the critical damage up by 20%. Again, just massive damage. Effect on the target that started, charging for 3 turns. Additionally grants the critical rate up 20%. Effect on yourself for 3 turns. If you recover from the break or knockdown status. Increases the critical rate by 20%. Increases the critical damage by 20%. Again, his whole kit is just based on damage, critical rate, attack. Fantastic starting units. Going over his skills now, I almost like am mad at myself for not picking him. But I really do think Spitfire is a fine runner-up to Stormblade when starting off. Just keep that in mind. Then we got the A3. And remember, these skills, you're going to have to power Stormblade up to use them. You're not just going to get these skills right off the bat. I should have said that earlier in the video, but I'm saying it now. You are going to have to level him up before you unlock all of these skills. So just keep that in mind. When you first get him, he's only going to have these first 3. Or maybe he gets the leader skill. I'm not sure, but just keep that in mind. And these are showing fully skilled up as well. When you get him, he will not be fully skilled up. And it's really tough to super boost 5 stars in this game as a non-compensated free-to-play player. So we got after charging for 1 turn, inflicts 84% of attack as damage 2 times to 1 enemy, and it grants the silence effect, grants the evasion rate down, 20% effect for 2 turns with a 40% chance. And then we got silence. And we also got decrease attack evasion rate by 20%. And then we got his A2, inflicts 66% of attack as damage 2 times to all enemies. Great AoE. And inflicts 46% of attack as damage on the enemy with the lowest HP. Additionally, if the attack lands as a critical. And with all of these boosts, and if you're putting crit rate gear on him, my man is going to be critting. And then we got the A1, inflicts 20% of attack as damage to the enemy and the nearby enemies 4 times, and grants the diminish effect for 2 turns with a 20% chance when you attack accurately. Able to put the enemy in knockdown status. Then we got diminish, inflicts continuous damage by 30% of the attack to the enemy. And then once again, we got the knockdown like Spitfire. So all in all, Spitfire, Stormblade, these are the 2 you should be looking for when you're rerolling in Skylanders. I don't think you can go wrong with either one, but if you're asking me my personal opinion, which one I think is better for your reroll, I'm going to say Stormblade. I know I picked Spitfire, but I didn't know everything I know now. I'm not mad that I picked Spitfire, and I'm going to love having him the more I get into this game. I just think Stormblade is the better pick for your reroll. Either way, you can't go wrong. If you're trying to look more into the long-term picture, then you want to go with Spitfire. If you're looking to really crush that early game content right away, I'd probably go with Stormblade. I think Stormblade is more PvE based than Spitfire is, in my personal opinion. You can't go wrong either way. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm going to continue playing this game on Twitch and making content on it here on YouTube, along with the 10 other games that I am playing. So look forward to some more Skylanders content. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. We have the sub celebration giveaway going on, which is linked down below. All you have to do is comment on that video and you'll be entered into that sub celebration. If you want to be a part of the random giveaway that we always have going on here on YouTube, all you have to do is sub to the channel, like and comment on my past 10 videos, and that's going to automatically enter you into the random giveaway. I'm going to be picking 2 winners for the random giveaway because I haven't done one in a couple weeks to a month, something like that. So I'm going to be picking 2. That's the biggest prize we give away here on YouTube as an individual prize. We also have 2 giveaways going on Discord. One for your cutest fur baby picture, and one is the exclusive Discord giveaway that we do every 2 weeks. That is also linked down below with my Twitch, where we also do giveaways. And I know I do a ton of giveaways, and it's just because I love you guys and I love giving back to you guys because you guys support me and I love supporting you. So thank you guys so much for the support. As always, I love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spacewell's out. Peace.